Hey guys, today we're going to be testing my security system in my garage. We're going to be putting the system into walk test and doing a walk test, and then we're going to set off the sirens and give it a good listen and see how loud it is. Some of you may have already known this, but I installed the security system a couple years ago, and there's been some minor expansions since the original system where I expanded it to my generator building with a door contact on that building and a siren out there. The system is a pretty small, simple system. Before I show you guys the actual testing, let's give the system a little bit of a walk around and go through all the components on it. First of all, this is a DSC Neo security system. As far as security systems go, I'm not really sure what brand is best. I like DSC. I've always used DSC. DSC is the ones that I have experience with as far as at work in all of our schools. They're pretty much mostly DSC. Some of them are Neo, some of them are just normal DSC Power Series, some are the Maxis series, and then there's a couple other oddball systems, but mostly DSC. So DSC Neo system, specifically the 64, so it's the expandable to 64 zone model. There was a reason I went with 64 zones over, I think you can go with 16, 32, 64, 128. But there's more to them than just getting more zones. There was something that the 64 zone one could do that the 32 and the 16 couldn't. I can't remember what it was, so I'm sorry about that. I think it was more programmable outputs. On this one, you get like a lot more. Like the 64 zone gives you the next step up as far as the other things too. So I don't need 64 zones, but going with the 64 zone gave me more capabilities in the future as far as other things. So we can take a look inside the panel here. Okay, yeah, so there's a 16 zone, a 32, 64, and a 128. And I can't remember what the features were that you get on this one. Again, I'm sorry about that, but there was something different, so I'll try and get this stable here. So if you guys want to pause this to look at this, you can read it over. We are using 6 zones on this system, and we do have a relay in here, so our 6 zones are going out starting right here. Zone 1, Zone 2, Zone 3, Zone 4, Zone 5. Zone 5 looks like it's the panel tamper switch. Zone 6, can't remember what that one was. And we're using the bell circuit here, as well as the aux power for the motion sensor, as well as part of the bell circuit is going to, the bell circuit, no, other than just doing the bell, is going to trigger this relay to flip this relay, which is getting power from this power supply panel to give us some more bell circuit power for out in the generator building siren. Right here is our AC light indicator, which is down there. It's pretty pointless since you can't really see it, and this one shows it too. And then here's where our power comes into the panel. We still have a couple zones that could be expanded on this system. Not hooked up to any phone lines. I couldn't even if I wanted to. We don't have phone lines at my house. So I'm kind of out of luck there. I can maybe go with some sort of internet communicator, but I don't care. It gets my attention, and it's not monitoring the fire alarm. That thing has its own communicator thing in it anyways, so it's okay. It's not life safety. So this is the security system. All of the wires go out from here. I like having the security system in a enclosed room because if somebody got into the main building, they would have to go into another closed room before they could really mess with anything, as none of the wires could be cut or anything from in this room here. As you see, they travel through behind a wall, and then they're in a ceiling to wherever they go. So there isn't any security devices to look at in this storage room here. This is just where the main panel is enclosed, same with the access control to keep it in a safer location so someone can't jump or out something. Speaking of that, there is a problem with the system where it doesn't seem to care if there's end-of-line resistors. I have end-of-line resistors enabled, so I'm not sure what the deal is. I'm not that worried about it, but yeah. Okay, let's take a look at all of the field devices on the system. I'll try and go zone by zone as much as I can remember. I can't really though, so I'll probably goof up. But first of all, we have a door contact on the man door here. This one's not actually screwed to the door. It just sits there with magnet. I'm not sure why I haven't got around to doing it, but it works. Never fallen off or anything. And as you can see, there is an end-of-line resistor, but these are normally closed, right? So the idea is if you jump it out, it won't see the resistor, but it doesn't seem to care. Maybe I've got it done wrong. Maybe I've got it wired wrong, but if I jump it from there to there, or from that side of the resistor, either side, it doesn't seem to care, which I would have thought it would, but whatever. That's a story for a different day. Okay, the next one's actually labeled here, so I know this one's zone 2 for sure, where we have an alarm contact on the garage door. You can see it there. So if the garage door is opened, it will trigger that alarm contact. Next, we do have a window contact, even though there is a security bar thing over the window. If this window is opened, that contact will see it. That is zone 3. And then we have this motion sensor up here, this PIR. This is a ceiling mount one. This one is usually what causes the false alarms. Is this guy seems to see things that move in the night, which sometimes things do move in the night, fall over, and it seems to be set off. This has always been the cause of the false alarms. It's not really bad enough that I'm willing to do anything about it because it does work. It's doing its purpose. But anyways, that is zone 4, and that is where we have the 24 volts power ran to that motion sensor. It seems to do a good job. It's not really in the middle of the building, but it's in the middle of where people can get in, because people can really only get in that window there, that man door, or the garage door, and it's kind of right in the center of that location. The only other window we have is this one here, which this one does not have a contact on. I could if I wanted to, but I'm not really worried about this one as it's such a small window that it's going to be difficult for someone to get through anyways. It is possible, I've done it before, but even if they did, they're going to trip the motion sensor. Which the motion sensor becomes an instant alarm if a door hasn't been opened. So the garage door, I'm not sure if the garage door, I might have changed it. The garage door originally was on a delay so you could open it and get in, but I removed the outdoor keypad, so there's no reason somebody should be coming in through the garage door. So the garage door may now be set to an instant. I'm not sure. I think we have 25 seconds on the man door. I haven't given a big delay at all. It might even be only 20 seconds. It's not much of a delay. Windows an instant, and motion sensors an instant if somebody hasn't opened something else. Because obviously, if it's getting set off without the man door being open, somebody's gained access in another way, which they shouldn't be in here. So the motion sensor doesn't play into effect at all if the man door has been opened and it starts your 20-second delay or whatever it's set to, if that makes sense. The generator building is the next one. Obviously, there's another zone, is the panel tamper switch too. I have been asked why the system's not tied into the fire alarm. Usually the only purpose of a security system being tied into the fire alarm is because the security system's monitoring the fire alarm, that the fire alarm panel's not doing the communicating, that the security system's what telling the monitoring company that, hey, the fire alarm system's in alarm or trouble supervisory. That's usually the only reason it'd be tied in. But my security system isn't monitored, so there's no point in it monitoring the fire alarm system, being it's got no one to tell that there is a problem, if that makes sense. I also get questions why this building isn't tied in, and well, that's because I'm not the only one that accesses this building. For the most part, I'm the only one that accesses these two buildings here. Those are kind of my area. This one is more shared between everyone, even though I seem to be the only one that uses it. It, in theory, is shared. That's why that building is keyed differently. That building is keyed the same as the house. And these two buildings out here are keyed separately because I'm the only one that really uses the buildings, so I'm the only one that has the key to them. Other people have fob access, but I keep the Schlage Everest to just myself because that's what kind of gets you in everything and is the most vulnerable if it got lost. Next up, in the generator building, we do have a door contact right here. The magnet for that guy is right here. I got videos on installing all of the stuff I've talked about and shown. We also have a siren out here to increase volume because the siren in there alone wasn't quite loud enough outside, and having a siren mounted directly on the outside would be excessive, so this was kind of the sweet spot. Was just mounting another one in this slightly insulated building where it is insulated, yes, but it's not insulated nearly as well as this building is. Speaking of sirens, there is another siren in here. We have a siren mounted up here. And some of you may remember I briefly did the thing with the voice siren because I had a voice siren up here, and then I added another voice siren speaker in the generator building, and that blew the voice siren driver, so I abandoned that because for the cost it wasn't really worth it. You never know, maybe one day I'll bring it back, but for now I'm not. We'll see what happens with that. Okay, I'm good at talking, but let's actually put this thing into test. We'll put it in walk test, see what that does. I don't know if I've ever actually done it. I think it's star 6. Wow, I put the code in blind. Sometimes I don't even remember what the code is. Somebody will ask me because they need access, and I'll say, I'm not sure. Okay, I have to think about it. Usually I just do it by feel, like do. Walk test. Okay. Okay, I just set off the PIR. That was the front door. Probably the PIR again, I don't know. We'll set off the window. Open the garage door. Kind of destroying all the boxes there. Yeah, that's that freaking PIR keeps going off. Not sure if it'll tell me once everything's tested. We should only have one thing left to test. I'm not sure if it's like the fire alarm system where it tells you once everything's tested. I'm assuming that went. PIR, front door, garage door, window, panel tamper, generator room. I think that's it. Do you really have to go back into star 6? Okay, we'll give it a siren test now. Actually, I want to take the decibel meter. See how loud this thing is. I always do this to myself, where I arm the system and then I start doing whatever I'm trying to do. I seem to have a bad habit of that. Like, even at nighttime when I'm arming this thing, I'll arm the system and then realize I haven't turned any lights off and I gotta clean up a bunch of crap. Okay, take our decibel meter here. I don't really have a goal or anything that I'm going for. Yeah, so I'll set it off, do a walk around outside. That is most definitely armed. So I will I'll set it to max so it will record the loudest thing. That's pretty loud. 105.8. Alrighty. Okay, so that's the alarming features of the system tested. Not sure really what else there is to test because I'm not too familiar with security system testing. It's not really a life safety thing, so we don't usually do it. I have very little experience with security systems other than arming them, disarming them, troubleshooting troubles on them. But as far as testing them, they don't really ever get tested since they're not really life safety. I know they're supposed to get tested. That's what the manufacturer says to do, but I'm being real. It doesn't happen. I can show you the system on battery backup by unplugging the AC power. There we go. AC troubles. I think at that point, maybe it's acknowledged. Well guys, that's all I've got for this security system test video. You guys have been requesting this one for a while, so I'm not really sure if this is what you want me to do, but it's how it is. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. If you have any comments or questions, make sure to leave those down in the comment section. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you enjoy my videos and want to see more of them, feel free to subscribe. Alright guys, that's all I got. Thanks for watching.